Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
Right, we got a strange piece of footage coming back from around 2023 from North Carolina that's kind of re-emerging online in spite of all the strange activity we've been having and seeing recently. Look at this thing, right? Apparently this person recorded this in the upper layers, I guess it would be the upper layers of the atmosphere, and the shape of this object and the way it's tumbling and moving and it morphs as well. Look at that, mate. What is that, bruv? Right? It looks like an S shape, and then I don't even know what to think of this. Like, to me, it doesn't look like a mylar balloon. It doesn't look like a lantern, a satellite either. I just don't know. This object is just messed up, man. Jeez, the way it's just floating through the sky, minding its own business. I mean, it does kind of give me that sort of jellyfish entity type feel, but I really don't know, man. You guys let me know what you think. This is some incredible and weird footage.
The shape of this UFO looks almost exactly what Jason Sands talks about whenever he describes talking to that alien and there's a craft sitting in the distance behind him. Is this corroborating evidence to back up his story? If this was just filmed, I probably would have assumed that this was just something that they released to try to back up his story and make it sound more legitimate. But seeing as how this footage came out long before his story went public, unless he's seen this footage and based his description of his craft off of it, this just made his story much more interesting. I wonder if he's on X or something and someone can tag him in this footage and get his take on whether or not he thinks it's the same craft that he saw before.
Do you ever imagine your bank telling you to go to a food bank after their IT problems leave you unable to access your money to buy food or pay your bills? Because that's what Barclays Bank are doing. They're telling their customers, thousands of their customers, to speak to their friends or their family, or even if you have to go to a food bank if you're unable to access your money because of their IT problems. Now, Barclays Bank have gone on to say that some may still continue to see outdated balances and payments made or received may not be shown. Customers should not try to make the payments again, which essentially translates into, we don't know what the is going on and we don't know when the is going to be fixed. But here's the thing, this is probably quite reassuring. When these banking apps go down regularly, because let's face it, they're going down once a week at least, it's quite reassuring to some people and businesses, because whenever this happens, this sets us back even further, ever becoming a cashless society or cashless country. How the we go cashless? We're nowhere near being cashless in the UK.
The whole system is falling apart. I know I would be staying away from that bank if that's their solution that they give to their customers whenever there's a problem. He makes a really good point, though. If they can't even keep the current system from constantly breaking down, how do they plan to ever implement a central bank digital currency? They keep burning people with these banking errors and giving people every reason under the sun not to trust the banks. They'll never get people to willingly switch over to an all-digital system. Maybe part of the population will fall for it, but the rest are going to go unwillingly.
He admitted that this was a distraction for humanity.
Oh,
yeah, good one.
What is that?
That's
lasers, right?
Yeah, I can actually talk about that one, but that is it's really bad. But you know the people that see orbs in the sky,
Yeah.
Go around that fly faster.
UFOs.
UFOs.
Yeah, there's Navy pilots. There's multiple Navy pilots who talk about they got their they were flying F-18s. These Navy pilots, and one of them's coming in here in 2 weeks. He's Ryan Graves.
Okay.
He's a Navy pilot flying off the coast of North Carolina, and they got their radar upgraded on their F-18s, and all of a sudden they were seeing these things darting around on their radar.
Don't tell him what I'm about to say and see if he knows about it.
Okay.
So what we do is we play with our own forces, make sure our trickery will work on the enemy. And those are directed energy weapons of where we do intersecting beams or focus beams into the atmosphere. And notice they're always in the atmosphere to excite the electron orbitals of the oxygen and nitrogen in our atmosphere, and it causes a glow and it causes ionization. That ionization shows up on radar, and it's like a cat laser pointer, and we're making planes chase them.
That's exactly how they describe these things moving, like laser pointers.
Yeah, and so we can do it in 3 space. We can make it look like
in 3-dimensional space.
Yeah, and we can make it look like an entire fleet is about to drop bombs on, let's say, Europe, and then just have them disappear. And they get all their planes up in the air, and we attack them from the other direction, assuming we're attacking
Who is doing this? The Navy, you said?
Somebody. Let's just say a group, you know.
And you know this for a fact.
I know for a fact, yeah. So anyway, don't tell your guests.
A group within the U.S. government.
Yeah, okay, we'll leave it at that.
And is this something that could be seen with the naked eye, or
yes,
is this something
because
that was only...
it glows, so it would be seeable. You can see it by the naked eye, and it would leave a radar trace. So it's and it involves the voice of God weapons that I was talking about.
Project Bluebeam does.
And this got leaked, so it probably won't have the effect, and they probably won't do it. But if you wanted to bring the world together, as President Reagan said in several UN speeches, you would have a common enemy like evil aliens attacking. We forget our differences and we fight against it. So that was Project Bluebeam, was to trick the human race into believing either God is coming down, everybody hears the voice of God, the microwave hearing effect, get along, give, whatever the new message is, or it was going to be the evil aliens attacking. And notice how they all of a sudden, all the governments release all their information on UFOs, a whole division dedicated, and that's just deception.
The way he's describing this makes me think immediately of New Jersey. There were drones in the air that we now know were given clearance to be there by the FAA, so it was the government the whole time, and they were just letting us all freak out for nothing. And there were orbs up there, and those were likely just this Project Bluebeam. Maybe they added the orbs just to give us something else to film and freak out about. Or maybe this guy's just out here sowing disinformation because they want us to think that's what the orbs were, because they don't want us to have that information yet. I just don't know what to believe anymore. We're lied to so often it's becoming impossible to make sense of this stuff.
I'm watching this clip, right? As above, so below, right? Guys, I made the connection. It's gonna blow your mind that we knew all along what this remind you of. What this is remind you of, y'all. Watch this. Look, I'm not supposed to be holding on to this phone, but my mind cannot stop, and I feel like I should share this. Whenever I watch something, I connect dots. That's me. And whenever you're watching something, when they're showing you books in those movies, take the titles. They are telling you something. But this is a big camera, y'all. I'm gonna show you guys. This is what they did not want to tell us what that is, y'all. I'm gonna show you guys what that is. You guys ready? Just tell me if I'm onto something, man. TikTok, this is not facts. This is not true. All right, guys, check this out. TikTok, this is not true. This is not facts. All right. So you guys, take a second and read this and tell me what you think. They have been lying to us, y'all. It's too obvious now, man.
Personally, I love to hear new theories for what the purpose of the pyramids could have been, but I think this one is a bit of a stretch. Maybe there's more details backing up this theory and he only showed that one page with a few points on it, but I just don't see what the point of this would have been. What were they taking pictures of? Why did they need such a massive camera that couldn't be moved around? Why did they need all the smaller pyramids around it if they're all cameras? What were they taking photos of? I think this one would be cool if it were true, but I just don't think it makes much sense.
Oh, look at that's like the collapsed area in there. Dude, that actually looks really creepy down there. Okay.
Yeah.
So. Oh, whoa, whoa.
I just heard something.
Shh. Wait. Okay, douse your lights real quick. Shh. Douse your lights. Okay, dude. Let's get out of here. Dude, it's coming. Stay out, get some Shoot. Go.
There are a couple of things that are keeping me from buying into this video. For one, their actions make no sense. Turning off your flashlights and intentionally sitting in the dark after you notice that something else is in the cave with you with glowing eyes makes no sense at all. Keeping your flashlights turned off when the thing keeps inching closer and closer to you makes no sense at all. I don't think they wanted to show what was making the glowing eyes, because then it would have given away the trick that they were using to pull this video off. And their reactions are not believable either. Oh shoot, oh shoot. Yeah, you're going to say that when you're in that situation.
What they're claiming is that they went 1,000 times farther than they can send astronauts today, 50 years ago, on the first attempt with 1/1,000th the computing power of a cell phone. And there's never been a technological achievement that no one could repeat 50 years later. It's like me telling you 50 years ago, Toyota made a car that could go 50,000 miles on a gallon of gasoline. And yet today, 5 decades later, their best car can only go 50 miles per gallon, or 1,000th the distance. You would laugh and say the original claim is preposterous. Or 50 years later, and now the farthest they can send an astronaut to the moon is 1,000th the distance that they claimed to have done on the first attempt 50 years ago with less computing power than a cell phone, 1/1,000th of the computing power. It just doesn't add up. It's never happened. It's also the only time that they deliberately destroyed a technology. I mean, the B-52 is 70 years old, and there's still 200 of them in service, and yet they admit they destroyed all the Apollo equipment, and they're claiming they have to go back to the moon and recreate it from scratch. They destroyed all the original videotapes, all the original blueprints. You would never do that if you really went. You would only do that if there was a fraud and you were trying to cover your track.
And for those of you who have been waiting, the books have come in. The original We Never Went to the Moon from 1976. I bought a copy for myself, and as promised, I bought a copy for one of you. Now, I've been trying to decide for like a week and a half on how I plan to do this giveaway, and here's what I've landed on. Go to the Discord, the link is in the description of the video, go to the General tab, and be the first to answer this ridiculously stupid riddle. 3 men were going to cross the desert on foot, and they all showed up the morning of to do so. The first man brought a backpack full of food. The second man brought a backpack filled with bottles full of spring water. What did the third man bring, and why? Be the first to tell me what he brought and why he brought it, and you win the book.
A woman named Lee claims an alien was trying to break into her back door and has a video to prove it. This happened at 4:15 in the morning. She said she and her daughter were in bed asleep when she heard a loud bang coming from her basement where her back door is. She thought something exploded. You see her on the video peeking around the corner. She said she saw someone banging on the door and noticed the door was moving and the handle was turning like someone was trying to get in. She then goes back upstairs to get something to protect herself, her daughter, and her dogs. She then goes back downstairs. Watch this.
don't know what could have made them jump to the conclusion that that was aliens and not just a typical home intruder. Those noises sounded weird, but who knows what an alien sounds like. I did like the way they responded to it, but if you have someone trying to break into your house at 4 o'clock in the morning jiggling the handle, I think it's time to invest in some home security cameras. I can't help it though. I'm leaning toward this just being an average attempted home invasion that got thwarted by a locked door.
Multiple witness individuals who have all seen these things all over the world, not just in this country, but all through Canada, all through France, all through Brazil, Australia, you name it. They're really, for every, in a way, for me, for every couple hundred square miles of land in this country, there are UFO reports. Some of the people who have had UFO encounters do, tell me that it's very similar to the kinds of encounters that are in the films. Of course, the kinds of encounters that are in my film are based in part on the experiences of a kind of cross-section of people throughout the country who claim to have had second-kind encounters, first-kind encounters, and third-kind encounters.
President Carter reported a UFO sighting twice.
Yes.
Has he seen the picture?
Last Saturday.
What do you think of it?
We haven't heard the direct feedback. We hear he liked it quite a bit. We haven't really heard directly from the president.
In view of the fact that your own president has cited it, reported it, why is it that so many responsible people accuse the U.S. government of covering up UFO sightings? And why would the forces of the government try to do that?
Well, it's very popular today because of Watergate to blame the government for anything that we think we should know about that we don't know about. Dr. Heineck has referred to UFOs in America as a cosmic Watergate. There are several reasons why the government could be, withholding information beyond the Freedom of Information Act. The Robertson panel, that convened in the early 50s, decided that UFOs were not a threat to our national security, but could be a threat to our national security by clogging all the proper channels of communication, creating rumors. During the Cold War, when we were already frightened of the intercontinental ballistic missiles arriving in 18 and a half minutes, and the government was afraid that too many UFO reports could be misleading, could mislead our own facilities, our own NORAD facilities, into thinking that what looked like a non-specific, what looked like an uncorrelated target could be, in fact, an incoming missile. And they didn't want to confuse UFOs with a threat from communist Russia.
It's interesting to hear that that was once a problem the military was faced with, and they backwards engineered this problem and figured out how to manufacture it to use against other countries using Project Bluebeam. So they used to worry about UFOs being confused for enemies on radar, and now they intentionally confuse the enemy's radar by putting these fake orb UFOs wherever they want to put them. I gotta hand it to them. If this is what the military is doing, it's a pretty clever idea.
I'm sitting here doing this. I was sitting here doing this for 5 minutes. I was like, dreaming.
How'd you see it?
Well, the white's so green. The buck. Stop. What's your deal?
Would you just look out your window?
I was making my coffee. Stop, dear.
Hold it by the collar. Holy crap.
All right. I'll let you go. You're going to go your way. I'm going to go mine. All right? 3, 2, 1.
And that was our good clip of the day, a family-friendly example of backwoods self-defense techniques. I heard the guy didn't get away, and that's why they had to cut the video so short. All joking aside, though, I don't know what he did to anger that deer, but he may just want to go back in the house. Before we end the video, I would like to explain the shorter length of today's upload. I uploaded all of my clips to YouTube to check for potential copyright issues before I started filming today's video, and I had to remove multiple clips to avoid getting hit with another ad suitability rating. I get hit with that and about 3 out of 5 uploads now. Do not worry though, I will keep working around it. I have no plans to stop posting on this channel. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I hope you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I hope you come back to join me. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out my merch store at barry-stepp.com. And don't forget to leave a photo of your merch over in the Discord to get your photo in a video. But with all that out of the way, I hope everyone has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.